You know, there's a time in life when you have to stop explaining yourself to people. A time when you realize that your silence is not weakness. It's wisdom. Jack Ma once said, when you are small, you have to be very focused and rely on your brain, not your strength. And that's the truth most people never understand. We live in a world that wants you to talk louder, show more, and prove yourself constantly. But the real ones, they don't need to prove anything. They let their focus speak. They let their results make noise. And until that day comes, they stay silent. When Jack Ma started his journey, nobody believed in him. He was rejected again and again from schools, from jobs, from opportunities. He applied for 30 jobs and was rejected from all of them. Even KFC rejected him. But you know what he did? He didn't complain. He didn't shout. He didn't post his pain on the world's wall. He stayed silent, and he worked. He said, if you don't give up, you still have a chance. Giving up is the greatest failure. That's what silence does. It gives you space to grow without interruption. Because the more you talk, the more you lose focus. The more you react, the more energy you waste. The more you explain, the less you build. People who truly want to win don't need to tell everyone what they're doing. They just do it. They wake up. They grind. They fail. They learn. And they keep going. In silence, they know that real power doesn't come from noise. It comes from discipline. Look around you. Everyone is showing off. Everyone wants attention. Everyone wants likes, followers, validation. But validation doesn't build you. Focus does. Silence does. Consistency does. When you focus on yourself, you stop chasing people. You stop comparing your life to others. You stop needing applause to feel good because you know your worth is not measured by who sees you, but by what you build when no one does. There will be days when no one claps for you, when no one believes in you, when even your closest friends won't understand what you're doing. That's the moment you have to stay silent and trust the process. Because silence doesn't mean nothing is happening. It means everything is happening. Quietly. Jack Ma used to say, never give up. Today is hard. Tomorrow will be worse. But the day after tomorrow will be sunshine. And that sunshine, it only comes to those who keep walking through the dark days without making excuses. You see, the people who talk too much, they stop moving. But the ones who stay silent, they keep going. And one day, when they finally make it, the whole world hears them. Silence is not the absence of sound. It's the presence of focus. It's the sound of someone building something real. Away from the noise. Away from judgment. Away from drama. It's the sound of someone who refuses to quit. Sometimes people will misunderstand your silence. They'll think you've given up. They'll think you're weak. But they don't know what's happening behind the scenes. They don't see the hours you put in, the sacrifices you make, the late nights you spend learning, practicing, building. They only see the silence. They don't hear the storm inside you. So, let them talk. Let them doubt. Let them laugh. Because the day you rise, your success will silence them all. Jack Ma didn't argue with those who said Alibaba would fail. He didn't waste time convincing anyone. He just focused on his dream. People said, China doesn't use the internet. Who will buy online? He stayed quiet, and today, the same people who laughed are the ones quoting his words. That's the power of silence. It's patience. It's control. It's the decision to put energy where it truly matters, in growth, not in argument. When you focus on yourself, you enter a different world. You stop caring who's watching. You stop explaining where you're going. You stop defending why you're different. You just move, quietly, intentionally, powerfully, and that's when you find peace. Because peace doesn't come from attention, it comes from alignment. When your mind, your heart, and your goals move together, you don't need noise. You just need time. Think about the seed that grows into a tree. It grows underground, first in darkness, in silence. It doesn't need an audience to grow. It just needs patience, and one day, it breaks through the soil, and the world finally sees it. But by that time, its roots are strong enough to survive any storm. That's what your silent phase is. Your root-building phase. The world can't see your progress, but one day, it will feel your impact. So don't rush, don't explain, don't prove, just build. Jack Ma once said, when people think too highly of you, you have the responsibility to calm down and be yourself. Never let praise blind you, and never let criticism break you. Both are distractions. If people talk good about you, stay humble. If they talk bad about you, stay calm. Because at the end of the day, neither applause nor insult will build your dream. Your work will. When you're silent, you learn more. You listen to life. You see what others miss. You understand people's intentions without saying a word. And you begin to realize, not everything needs a reaction. Not every situation deserves your response. Sometimes the best answer is silence. Silence teaches discipline. It teaches patience. It teaches strength. It teaches you how to carry your pain with grace. And in that grace, you become unshakable. Focus is not about doing everything. It's about doing the right things. It's about cutting out the noise and giving your full energy to what matters most. When you stop wasting time explaining your vision, you get more time to live it. So, if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling unheard, if you're tired of talking and not being understood, stop explaining. Just focus. Let your silence be your message. Let your work be your voice. The most successful people you see today, they all had a silent season. A season where no one clapped. A season where no one saw their effort. But they kept going. And that's why they made it. Don't fear the silence. Don't rush the process. Because when the time is right, everything will align. The people, the opportunities, the timing. Until then, focus on yourself. Stay silent. And trust the journey. One day, you'll look back and thank yourself for not reacting, for not proving, for not giving up. You'll realize that your silence was not wasted. It was the foundation of your strength. Because the truth is, silence is not empty. It's full of answers. So today, stop explaining. Stop doubting. Stop comparing. Stay focused. Stay patient. And remember, the loudest person in the room is rarely the strongest. The strongest person is the one who doesn't need to speak to be heard. You don't need to tell anyone what you're building. You don't need to prove your worth. The world will see your light when it's ready. Until then, let your silence be your power. Because one day, when your moment comes, when everything you worked for quietly starts to shine, that's when the same silence that once made you invisible will make you unforgettable.